So explain why you want to continue to run for school board.
Yeah, I have a lot of people ask me that. Why?
Especially in this environment.
Well, yeah, why would you want to? It has not been easy. It has been very difficult times all over the state of California for many elected officials and for people just trying to get by in California. But I feel that now that I have had this experience, I know how to read all the budgets. I know the acronyms. I have a lot more information and experience that I feel that I can bring to the position, and I continue to really have a strong interest in public schools and in education. And so I would like to, I want to help. I want to continue. When I first was running, when people would say, "Why do you want to run?" I said, "Well, because I think I can help." And that's really still the primary reason, is that I want to be there to listen to the community, to make the decisions, and to make sure that the children of Davis get the very best education that they can, and that's really my primary role.
What do you see as, in the 5 years you've been on the board, that have been your top priorities and concerns, and what do you see for the next 4 years as your top priorities and concerns?
Yeah, I pulled out my literature from the first time that I ran and said, gee, I wonder if I did what I said I was going to do. And I was working on the ABCs last time: access for all to a great education, budget, transparency, and stability, and C was communication. And I like to think that, well, except for the fact that the budget, I mean, I had no idea when I was getting in 5 years ago that what the budget was going to be like, but I think the access for all to a great education, I think I immediately jumped into that with the achievement gap issues, and have also been working, been very interested in the Bridge Foundation. It's a group of citizens in Davis that are very interested in the Latina population, and they have an after-school tutoring group, and I've been very supportive of the work that they've done, but really what they're doing is what the school district should be doing. So they're making these great community-based connections with UC Davis students, and they have them come and do after-school tutoring. So that's one of the achievement gap things, is to be able to find the students who need the help, to be able to have the situation available for them, and to have these tutors for them. It not only helps them academically, but because they're Latina students who are in college, I think it's a great thing for them. So I have been very interested, along with Dr. James Hammond, who was our superintendent, but went off to other places now. But having that address as one of the issues for addressing the achievement gap, is to have this kind of wraparound service. So not only are we serving our students best in the classroom, making sure that we're addressing their needs there, but to give an extra boost to the students who need it. Another example of how the achievement gap is being addressed, and which is one of my priorities, which is what I'm supposed to be talking about, just making sure I'm still talking about that, is the AVID program. And I forget what AVID stands for, but it's all capital letters. It's a national program, and it was actually, it's been in Davis for a few years, but very low key. It had one class at the high school for a number of years. But over the last couple years, because of our interest in addressing the achievement gap, we have greatly expanded, so that is now starts in the junior high. And the goal of the AVID program is to identify students who either are of a low-income background, or that they have neither parent have attended college, but that they have a certain grade point average before they go into the program, so that they can get the kind of tools that they would need to be able to be prepared and ready for college when they graduate from high school. So they teach them things about how to take notes, about how to study skills, about what kind of classes that you need, because if you start out, we don't really track students officially in Davis, but really if you start in the wrong math class when you're in 7th grade, if you do the trajectory out, there you are, you're not going to make it all the way through.
That was going to lead me to a question. Some people would say, achievement gap in Davis, how can that be? And other school boards have not particularly addressed that issue. Could you speak to why you believe that is such an important issue in Davis?
Yeah, that's what, like in Davis, yes, indeed, it is. It is there, and we have, the data has kind of been there. But if you look at purely the aggregate data, we have a very high performing school district, and we do very well in the aggregate. But if you dig down to the subgroups, there is an achievement gap even in Davis. Yes, it is. But that's sad. But the hopeful thing about it is that because we have money, people who are really interested in education and the supports around it, and it's actually percentage-wise a smaller amount. If there's any place that we can really truly address the achievement gap, we can do it here. So indeed, it is there.
Well,
And when I say there's money, there's some money. There
Right.
is, and it's just a matter of how you decide to spend it.
Well, yeah, and what happens, I think, is that sometimes, because the focus is so much on Davis being a high-performing district, that those students who might be involved in the achievement gap sometimes, at least in the past, have been left aside or forgotten.
Right.
And so it's good that that's an issue that's being addressed now.
Yeah, and we've had conferences about it. I mean, the achievement gap group, excuse me, that Jim and I started way back 5 years ago. The report that we did is not sitting on the shelves. We are like addressing those issues on an ongoing basis.